rang, they said, oh, no, that's not flood damage. And the way it was described to him, and it has become a real issue up here, is that a lot of people who thought that they were insured for flood damage are actually being told, no, I'm sorry, what you're experiencing is not a flood. Now, the way it was explained to him was that if a heavy storm came along and water dumped through your ceiling, that's a flood. If your neighbour's water tank tips over and comes through your window, that's a flood. But if the water comes up from the ground, that's not a flood. Now, Wendy, how does that work? You know, I mean, when is a flood not a flood? When it's on your insurance policy. I mean, you know, they are Scott Driscoll, who is the head of the United Retailers Federation, he is actually up in arms that insurance companies are, you know, splitting hairs, you know, hiding behind the fine print, he calls it, of insurance. What does flood damage mean? You know, I mean, storm damage or flood damage. The people of Toowoomba, you know, they're splitting hairs with that. Is that a flood? Is it a storm? I mean, who cares? The poor people have lost everything. And there's a meeting going on in Brisbane today with the Treasurer and representatives from the larger insurance company, you know, to have compassion. The Premier has called on them to have compassion and pay out to these poor people. It's just incredible. It makes you wonder what's going to happen to all the premiums. I mean, even before this flood damage happened, you know, months ago, we got our bill at home, and our bill went up 74% in 1 year just for household insurance. And when we inquired about that, the lady said, oh, look, I'm terribly sorry about that, we'll go through your bill. And the upshot was that it was just to cover costs of last year's floods, you know, like Innisfail, things like that. So, yeah, it's a weird thing going on here, and all these poor people, to add insult to injury, they've lost everything, you know, resting on this, you know, lifeline that they might have insurance, and then to be told that they don't have anything, you know, I mean, that's big stuff.